Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here goes another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Guard! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I said another one. Ba-ya, ba-ya, ba. Doesn't that sound so good? You know what I mean? It sounds good to your ears to hear the intro. I say guard, right? And woods, brother. Now trip out, as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, this is a series. Do I got lint? Watch out. I gotta be straight. Gucci. I wanted to talk about, and you can see that thumbnail right there, these two women and the unfortunate demise of their life. Fort Hood, Texas. Okay, a lot of people ain't speaking on the situation. It's being swept up under the rug. I felt because it's a Raza related issue, I had to speak on it. For those of you that don't know, there's some funny stuff going on in Fort Hood, which is a military base. It's more like a training facility. You know, this is where you go, where new recruits go. They learn skills necessary to become members of the armed force community, you know, the Army. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. These people take and they sacrifice their time, their efforts, and their lives, literally, right? To defend our country, to defend us, to help us in the time of need, you know, so that way me, myself can be right here on YouTube. You can be listening to us. They make the necessary sacrifices, man. Shout outs to all the military people and everyone that goes through military to help us. Okay, with that being said, there's some funny stuff going on in Fort Hood, and it's been happening. And a lot of the things that's been happening there, unless you know and you don't know, well, then you just don't know, right? There's something real mysterious happening there. And there's a lot of he said, she said that's going on, and a lot of people that are telling different stories. So Vanessa Guillen, 20 years old, you know, from Texas, she, you know, went to that base. She was based there, and unfortunately, you know, she didn't quite come home like she was supposed to. She didn't quite call home. You know, she had told her family that she was being harassed, that several times people were sexually harassing her or just messing with her head. And that's unfortunate. You know, being a female in the Army surrounded by males, they're supposed to feel protected. They're supposed to feel like they could do what they got to do and take care of, you know, their business without being harassed. But such is the workplace. We already know. Guard, you know what it is. You've been sexually harassed. You already know what it is, man. If a female looks, you know, proper, if she looks good, people are going to push up on her. She could be a torta, 420 pounds. They're still going to push up. That's the mentality of a man. You know, you can't hurt for trying. That's good. Closed mouths don't get fed. The early yard gets the worm, right? That's how it is. I didn't say bird. I say yard. The early yard gets the worm, right? That's just what it is. But with her, it was an unfortunate case. She had a routine, a pattern. Her family expected her to call at certain times, you know, expected her to be there off base because she was not far from home, you know, at certain times. When this didn't happen, they got very concerned. Now, of course, they called the base. The base wasn't too concerned, which is crazy because that being a soldier on paper, they need to know where they're at all times. Now, I have cousins, primos that have been in the military, and if you leave without telling anyone, that's AWOL, right? They need to know where you're at. It's you owe them some tiempo. When you sign up, you sign on the dotted line, you now become a product of the United States military. So they need to know where you're at. So unfortunately, they couldn't find her for a few days, and it led to weeks. Eventually, they did find her, and they found her body. Now, of course, the guy who they believe did this was apprehended, and that was only one of many cases that were going on. See, what we weren't knowing, and it kind of shined the national attention, the spotlight on that place, was that she wasn't the first woman to have had this happen to her. There were several others, mysterious disappearances, all being swept under the rug. We weren't aware of this stuff. You see that orb just fly by? It was either that or cucaracha. I can't call it like an alcoholic. One thing I know for sure, the wind just blew right here like a hurricane in Montebello, right? Or was it a tornado? One never knows, does one. That's a trip in itself. End of the world. Now trip out. So, you know, this woman, she meets her untimely demise. And you know, the story goes that one of her sergeants harassed her. She worked as a mechanic. He was trying to come on to her. She, of course, had a boyfriend at home. She didn't want it. She bypassed it. She didn't pass go or collect the 200. She was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good in Fort Hood, and I don't need that. And eventually he became enraged, is what they're saying. This is the story that's being told. And he killed her. You know, he killed her and dumped her on the side of the road. There was another female involved, allegedly to help him get rid of the body. And whatever the case may be, they're going to go on trial for that. Military police arrested him, and that's that. Well, just recently, another disappearance happened her name's Anna Ruiz, Balsaldua Ruiz, right? Another 20-year-old. There's a pattern here. It seems these women are young. Now, of course, they're young. You get fresh out of high school. You decide to go in the armed forces. You usually go about 18, 19, 20. So could it be a coincidence that both these females were 20 years old? These are just the ones we know about and have heard about. I don't know. I can't call it like an alcoholic. It just seems funny that they're all of a younger age. Now, this female actually comes up missing too, to which recently they have found her body deceased, and they're saying there was no foul play. Now, to what degree of no foul play? If you find a dead body on the base, I can't call it. Did she trip, fall, and land on a beret? I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is it seems like it's another case that's being swept under the rug, and they don't want us to talk about it. Raza, open your eyes. 2 Chicanas, 2 Latinas gone, right? It's starting to look like a pattern here. They're saying they arrested the first guy, so how did it happen with the second one? You know, it's more so not just the females and the guys in the harassment. I think it's more to that. Now, there's been several theories of what's happening there, because like I said, there's been a lot more cases of missing people than we know about. In fact, from about the last 5 years, there's been over 20 missing cases on this base. Now, that leads me to believe two things. Either it's a very loose base and they're not paying much attention to the females that they have there, or they're paying too much attention to the females they have there instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that's getting on with the get on, right? Working, taking care of their business so they can defend me. I need some defense. That's some offense defense, like 6ix9ine, right? You know, hung. Got his head, stomp. And we all know how that went. But look, so there's been a lot of theories that there's actually a cult on this base. Now, it seems like, you know, in this world that we live in, and it's a crazy world, you know, it always falls back to satanic rituals and things of that nature. And people theorize. People have the right to state your own opinion, whether you agree or you disagree, or you agree to disagree. At the end of the day, it's sometimes you got to be open to these theories, these concepts of people. It seems like the crazy man on the corner spitting is always spitting the real. He's always the one up on game. We're going to have an earthquake. We're going to have an earthquake. Shut up, man. Well, so here's $5. Go get some Parmesan and get faded, right? And then two hours later, he was right, right? Yeah, he was right. Hell yeah, he was right. You should have listened to that crazy vato. He felt it. He was like Wes Watson, waking people up with his vibration and his aura, brother. And that's just how that goes. But let's look into it a little bit deeper, gente. You know, what is going on in this space? Why are so many females missing? You know, is there a serial killer? There's a pattern, definitely. Is it a satanic cult? Is it some type of cult that, you know, this is where I kind of disagree on that. Is don't people get shipped out of certain places? You know, when it's a training facility, I think the whole aspect of that is for the people to go there, get trained in a certain thing, mechanics, being a nurse, being a doc, whatever they're going to be, you know, whatever field they're in, and then they push on. They get stationed or sent other places, whether it be around our country or around the world, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? I don't know. It's like I never was in the military. I was in the Norte, so it's two different things. But at the same time, we did burpees. So I understand that you get shipped out. So for this, if it is a fraternity, a secret fraternity, a satanic fraternity, where they're making sacrifices of these women, don't you think, you know, is it like, hey, the next dude comes, you recruit them, or how does that work? You know, I mean, didn't you think it would fade out after a while? Or maybe it's like a gang, you know, you just keep recruiting vatos. Órale, ese, watch out. That's the little homeboy Pee-wee right there. There's baby Pee-wee and junior Pee-wee and Pee-wee. You know what I mean? And that's the homeboy Pee-Pee. We call him Pee-Pee, but it's similar to Pee-wee, so we put him in that same category. It could be like, you know, a long lineage of people coming in that they recruit. So, you know, that theory is kind of outlandish and out there. And I trip in this world. People always, oh, it's satanic. Oh, it's the Illuminati. Look at their eyes and Charleston White. Look, right? You know, and I don't know. Like I said, I can't call it. I'm not the one there. I'm not the one disappeared yet. But one thing I know for sure is these females are gone. Okay? In real life. In high definition. In 4K. Okay? They're out. And condolences to their family. It's not a laughing matter whatsoever. And I'm not trying to make it a joking matter when it comes to their deaths, because that, gente, is no laughing matter. They made the necessary sacrifices to even sign up and go to this space for you and me. And for that, you know, we're forever indebted. And it's up to us as people that have platforms and a voice to express that. What the hell is going on? You know, Anna Balsaldua Ruiz and Vanessa Guillen Both 20 years of age, both gone. Now, I remember when Vanessa went missing, because I was like, damn, she's cool, she look good, you know what I mean? Looked out, make sure my old lady wasn't looking, damn, I was like, what's happening, right? And it gained national attention, and people were like, you know, her sisters were very vocal. Her mother was very vocal about her patterns and what she did in life. And you know, I remember the military, they weren't taking it, in the beginning, they weren't taking it serious. It seemed like they were like, she'll be all right. She probably ran off with Romeo, esa Juliet. You know what I mean? But that wasn't to be the case. Her boyfriend was like, damn, I thought I was Romeo. Is there a new Romeo? And there could have been a new Romeo. But it definitely wasn't that dude. So when the sisters and the mother started to voice their opinions and get, of course, the media involved, and it gained national attention, then the military started to take heed. Then there's an investigation opened up. And it was only then that they were able to, you know, find her body left on the side of a road behind some bushes. Now, if that was just a single thing, a single act, and it happens, and things happen in life. You know, a guy's trying to come onto a girl, or even a girl trying to come onto a guy, and they're not reciprocating, you know, what they want. They get enraged, you know. They get enraged and they become enraptured with this person. God damn, she got a big old booty. Man, well, I'm trying to get in between, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm going to go hit her up. She's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to hit her with the wrench. You know what I mean? We don't know exactly what happened there. That could have been an isolated incident. But then this one pops up, you know, not even less than a year later. And you say to yourself, okay, all right, well, that's pretty mysterious right there, right? And then if you start to really look into the story, which I did my proper investigation because I want to be aware and be for sure of what I'm talking about. I started to see that within a 5-year period, there was 20 other disappearances. How does that happen? How does that happen? It's like it being in the pinta. If someone gets whacked or hit, everyone knows. That vato's gone. He's no longer on the roster. So guess what? Count time is going to be different today, right? But everybody knows that person is gone. How the hell do they miss 20 people? You know, oh, she just never came back. Keep on trooping. You know what I mean? Oh, she's gone, yo. Right? No. She's missing, homie. Go look for her, eh? No. She's the third one, though. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they keep on bouncing. I don't know what it is. Maybe these chicks can't take the heat, so they get out of the kitchen. No, I don't think that's the case. I think you maniacos are sacrificing them or something. So maybe, I don't know, maybe goat's blood. I don't know. I can't call it like an alcoholic. One thing I know for sure is, if you really look into this case, it's a serious thing. I've noticed that a lot of these women are minorities. Oh, did I get your attention? Yeah, I'll hold. Menudo! A lot of these women, in a menudo style in a direct fashion, are Latinas. Again, kind of gets you in the boo-boo, huh? Yeah, you see the pattern here? They keep coming up missing. And it seems like this base, this Fort Hood, is an evil place. Now, I talked to somebody who actually was in Fort Hood. I made sure that I reached out. I was able to get a hold of him. He's a guy. And, you know, he wants to be left anonymous. You know, he don't want his name thrown out there, and I won't. So I said, I got you, homie. You know what I mean? Don't trip. You know what I mean? Not like all the dudes that spoke on the guy who jumped 6'9". Now, look, we had a conversation. He said it's a very eerie place. It's a place where no one cares about anyone. There's no camaraderie. There's no kinship. There's no teamwork, no team effort there. He goes, it's one of the worst military bases he's ever been on because of that. And I said, well, how are the women treated? Fuck my hand, because you didn't get your SOS that morning. How are the women treated? He said, the women are taken advantage of. They're definitely, you know, the guys are definitely on them like that. And it seems like it comes from a higher level. He says it's not, you know, just the new recruits doing it. He goes, I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna have big old booty Judy too. He goes, but even before that, it's like the sergeants and these captains and these people of high, you know, people that you're supposed to look up to, high stature, you know, people that are solidified in their rank and status. These are the ones that are basically harassing these women. Now, of course, it's just like anything else. If you're a boss and you're put in a position and you see a secretary and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to give her a raise right now. 2 of them, one right here and one over there. You know what I mean? And that's it. So I can understand that. Men will be men. Women will be women. That's a fact. But something more to meets the eye is going on there. He told me, he said, yeah, he goes, you know, I never heard no whispers. I said, well, did anyone ever come up missing? He said, yeah, a couple chicks came up missing while I was there. He goes, but I think they were AWOLs. And he goes, that's what we were always told. When someone's gone, it's an AWOL. I said, well, to what degree of AWOL? He said, I don't know, whatever fucking degree you believe in, right? The highest degree. AWOL meaning they leave without notice. They don't let anyone know, they just bounce. Okay, well, here's the funny thing about that. Okay, they went AWOL. That happens all the time. That's just like people escape from prison, just like people leave their old lady, or people ghost you. You know what I mean? On Tinder. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Anything can happen. And that's AWOL. That's pretty much what it means. You're leaving without being given permission to do as such, because you're supposed to be somewhere and you're not there. That's AWOL. You're gone. But these chicks have never been found that went AWOL. So you're telling me that all 20 of these chicks went AWOL forever? Not one of them has ever been found? Damn, they're smooth. They're smoother than I was. Sasuke, I was all the way in North Carolina as a kid wiggling, and they still caught me for a murder. I don't know how that worked out with all these spy planes and all these different air balloons and stuff. You would think that they would find the chick that was AWOL from the military base. Get your ass back here. You're going to the brig, girl. You owe us some time, and then after you're done, yep, you're going to get out with cornrows because there's going to be an Africana girl in there doing time too. She's going to braid your shit up, and you're going to get out, and you're going to whip your head back and forth like Willow Smith and get right back to work, right? That's not happening. Guard! I said it wasn't happening. It's not happening. You know what's happening? They're disappearing. Now, when I first heard that satanic theory, you know, I thought, maybe this is rubbish. This is bullshit. And then I asked the dude, well, never heard about Satan? Right? He was like, that was the word when we were there. That was going around, that there was some type of secret club or group. I said, well, why didn't you join? He said, I said, because I'm Catholic, eh? You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I understand that. But is it a fact? He says, I heard whispers of it. I can't state that that's a fact. He doesn't have a right to do. He's a white dude. You know what I mean? Am I giving him too much info? He's watching it and shaking his head like, you done gave me up. Benza, it's all good, Wood. I'll trade your story for 2 shots of coffee. Taster's choice. I got you. Right? No, but Devato, he definitely gave me some inside, in-depth, his theories. And he said, that's quite possible. It's quite possible because almost all these women that came out missing were of a certain age and a certain ethnicity. They've all been, most of them, either black or Mexican or, Latina. He said there was one Peruvian that was bad too. Anyways, we'll get to that later. It's a different story. But anyway, so if something is going on at this place, it's up to us as gente, as people, to pay attention to it, to put the story out there. Because unfortunately, these 2 women, man, they cry from the grave. They need our help. Like I said, it's being swept under the rug. It hasn't, after the first incident, it ain't really gaining national attention. They're not talking about it. If we have a corrupt or bad military base out there in Texas where people are coming up short, I think as citizens, as taxpayers, we need to know. We need to know what's going on. We got to hold everyone accountable, for their actions. And man, imagine, I got a young daughter, and imagine if she says, Dad, I want to go to the military. They're going to send me to Fort Hood. Hell no. I'd rather you be in the water doing that hood than go to that hood, because that hood, at least over here, you got a 50-50 chance. Over here, it's like 75, 70-30. I can't call it. I just know this, man. This is a very, very mysterious story, and you guys really, really need to look into this, because our Chicanas, our Mexicanas, our Latinas, our Africanas, our sisters, man, are coming up missing at this place. And it's scaring people. People don't want their children to go to the military. Ultimately, your child becomes an adult and they make their own decision. And, but the world that we live in is such a crazy place. But man, it's a cold pattern here. What's going on here? Like I said, they found 2 of them. Where's the other 18? To what degree of 18th Street? You can't find. I just need to know what's going on here. And I think as a taxpayer and as a citizen, it's up to me to definitely use my platform to express that. So with that being said, gente, man, look into the story. I expressed to you, please look into the story. Maybe one of you guys know someone and you guys can get down to the bottom of this. But I think it's something with these 2 women being deceased now, we need to do for their legacy and for their familias. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, if it's Raza related, the gun's going to bring it to you, just like DMX. Gun gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna bring it. Hell yeah, I'm gonna bring it to you, man. Hey, it's for the people, by the people. If we don't do it for our own, who the hell's gonna do it for us? And Africanas, I got you too. You know what I mean? Hey, gang, Big Booty Junior, I got you. One time for your mind. With that being said, go out there and get it for your family. I can't do it for you. Hit me with that thumbs up, that like, and subscribe. There's a notification bell. If you can touch it, tap it for the notifications. I highly appreciate that. That helps me out with the algorithms and all types of other things. You know what I mean? Hey, you never know. One of these days, I might even get a plaque. Imagine that. You already know. And if I don't, then hit me with the thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I honestly, truly believe in. And that's bringing you the best possible content that the gun can bring. Shout outs and respects to all the channels doing their thing, man. I ain't in no one's way, bro. I'm just a brown man here, and I got nothing but love for you. Always have, and I always will. Bang, bang. This is the gun.